Ayo Edibiri stars in the horror movie Opus, and though it looked promising, it ultimately ended a major streak for her after her breakout role in The Bear. Ayo Edibiri is no newcomer, with her acting career starting in 2014 in an episode of the TV series Detective. In 2020, she became the new voice of Missy Foreman Greenwald in Big Mouth, and that same year, she made her big-screen debut in the romantic drama Cicada. However, Edibiri rose to fame when she was cast as Sydney Adamu in The Bear, a role that has earned her praise from critics and general audiences. The Bear follows Carmi Bazzato, Jeremy Allen White, a young and talented chef who inherits his family's Italian beef sandwich shop after the death of his older brother. Carmi has to deal with the debts left by his brother, the terrible conditions of the kitchen, and stubborn staff members, while also struggling with family trauma, pain, and grief. Carmi hires Sydney to help him at the restaurant, and they develop a strong bond. Edibiri has since been part of different movies, most recently Opus, which is now ending a major streak for her after a series of successes on the big screen. Opus is Ayo Edibiri's first movie with a rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes. Opus currently has a 39% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. Written and directed by Mark Anthony Green, Opus is a horror thriller that tells the story of Ariel Ecton, Edibiri, a writer who travels with a group of journalists to the compound of pop icon Alfred Moretti, John Malkovich, who disappeared years ago. Ariel and the rest are lured in under the promise of an exclusive listening experience, but it quickly turns into a disturbing, cult-like experience with Moretti as the leader. Opus is scheduled for a March 14, 2025 release, but the first reviews and reactions are already in at the time of writing. Opus has a 39% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, based on 36 reviews, making it Edibiri's first rotten movie. Her highest-rated movie to date is the 2021 comedy As of Yet, with 100%, though based on 7 reviews, followed by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem with 95%, and Bottoms and Inside Out 2 with 91%. Before Opus, Edibiri's lowest-rated movie was the 2023 surreal road movie The Sweet East, with an 81% critic score. Why Opus' Rotten Tomatoes score is so low? Opus didn't live up to expectations. Ayo Edibiri in Opus. Opus looked quite promising for different reasons. The concept of a cult led by an eccentric pop icon isn't something unique to fiction, as it can definitely happen in the real world, and having Edibiri, Malkovich, and Juliette Lewis as part of its cast was key to selling the movie to the audience. Unfortunately, even though it had potential, Opus doesn't seem to live up to this. According to the first reactions to it, critics have found that Opus doesn't deliver on its promising premise, doesn't have a clear tone and direction, its horror elements don't quite work, and feels too much like a mix of influences, with some comparing it to The Menu, Get Out, and Blink Twice. The performances of Edibiri and Malkovich haven't been enough to save Opus from bad critical reception, but some critics have called it a solid feature debut for Green, an entertaining movie, and appreciate the ideas thrown into it, even if most are undeveloped. Once Opus is released in theaters, its critic score on Rotten Tomatoes will most likely change, but given the initial reactions, it's unlikely it will go high enough to stop being rotten. However, Opus' popcorn meter score could make a difference, as it's not uncommon for movies with poor critical reception to be better received by general audiences. Ayo Edibiri's only rotten scores on RT predate The Bear. Ayo Edibiri's pre-The Bear career is very different. Carmen and Sydney sitting outside wearing blue aprons and white tees. Ayo Edibiri's impeccable Rotten Tomatoes streak before Opus is only about her film projects, but on TV, her track record is very different. Edibiri has 2 rotten scores on TV thanks to the 2019 sitcom Sunnyside, where she served as staff editor and writer, and the 2021 anthology series The Premise, where she appeared in the episode Social Justice Sex Tape. These, however, are projects before Edibiri joined The Bear, which currently has a 96% critic score, and those that have come after are rated a lot higher. In 2023, Edibiri voiced Harriet Tubman in Clone High, which has a 100% critic score, and in 2024 she joined Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as April O'Neil, which also has a 100% critic score. Opus ended Ayo Edibiri's incredible Rotten Tomatoes streak, but it doesn't mean that it's the start of a disappointing trend, more so as she has 2 more movies coming up, Luca Guadagnino's After the Hunt and the comedy Ella McKay.